What you need in the building? How's everybody doing? Happy New Year to everyone once again. And we're going to start off with talking about boxing. I didn't post up anything recently about Ryan Garcia versus Luke Campbell because I wanted to take my time and go through the fight and also just break down a couple things that I've been seeing out there from people responding to Ryan Garcia and his performance in the fight. So I wanted to first go into that before we start talking about the actual fight itself and how it went. Um, you saw my prediction videos. You guys know what I said, how I predicted the fight. Um, it was very interesting how the fight actually transpired and my reasons for why I thought Ryan would win the fight. And what's next for Ryan Garcia? So let's start off by saying, first of all, each one of you guys who might be watching this video, I know for certain somebody's watching this video right now. For that person who's watching this video, you can join actually this stream right now as a guest. If you look in the comment section or in the comment section of the stream, you will see there that there's a link. So if you want to join me right now as a guest on this show, feel free. People are free to express themselves. You can express yourselves either in the comments on the stream, or you can express yourself by coming on as a guest on the stream. And I will see you as a guest, and you can say your thoughts. Usually I stay quiet while you express your opinion. All I ask for is some respect. And I also ask for you to mute your mic when you're not speaking. All right, so let's get into it. Ryan Garcia versus Luke Campbell. All right, first of all, I already predicted that Ryan Garcia was going to knock out Luke Campbell. I said he was going to run through him, and he did that. He ran through Luke Campbell. A lot of people say it was a competitive fight. It was because Ryan Garcia was the aggressor from round one until he got the stoppage. Okay. So Ryan Garcia did several things, which is what allowed him to be able to, first of all, walk down Luke Campbell, and secondly, to get the stoppage on Luke Campbell. We'll talk about those things separately. But first, I want to address the issues of Ryan Garcia being dropped. I believe it was in round number 2. He got dropped. Why did he get dropped? And also address people who think that because Ryan Garcia got dropped in round 2, that means that he's not eligible to face Tank or T.O. or Devin Haney or Shakur Stevenson. If Shakur Stevenson was to fight at lightweight. Let me make it abundantly clear. Even though Ryan got dropped in that fight, and he got dropped he got dropped pretty hard. He got caught with a shot that he should have defended, but I'll go into the details of why he didn't. But I've heard a lot of people criticizing Ryan Garcia, saying his footwork wasn't right for what he was doing against the southpaw, and as a result of that, he got caught. It wasn't to do anything with his footwork. In fact, if you look at Ryan Garcia, Teofimo Lopez, Floyd Mayweather, they all circle their opponents going anti-clockwise. Okay, so they actually move into their opponent's power hand. Now, what that does is it increases the risk of your opponent catching you with a shot if you don't have quick reflexes. But most of these guys have fast twitch muscles; they have quick reflexes. And the other thing is distance control. Now, what Luke Campbell did to Ryan Garcia was very unique. There were a couple of things Luke Campbell did in that fight which were really extraordinary. Okay, one of the things was he shortened up his hooks. So he tightened up, for example, his counter left hook, his check hook. It wasn't even a check hook; it was a counter left hook. It was a short, compact left hook that Luke Campbell would throw. Very short, very compact. Very short, very compact left hook. Not much distance. It was very short, compact. And also, he also threw something that was very unique, a leaping left hook where his lead hand was the hand that actually threw the. I'm sorry, not his lead hand. His power hand was the hand that threw the left hook, and it was amazing how he swept the hook around. Um, well, Garcia didn't have his guard up, but he swept it around and caught Garcia, and that's how he dropped it. Very unique. You don't see guys throw those kinds of shots. So Luke Campbell is a guy that kind of bolos his shots. He loops his shots, and so when he's throwing, he doesn't throw a straight left. He throws a looping left. That's where he gets his power and torque from. So I thought that was very interesting. KP from KC, what's up, my dude? If you want to join the program, the link is up above. And you can join on here, and we can talk about this. KP from KC5 says, do you think they will give fans Tank versus Garcia or Garcia versus Haney? I think the Tank fight is what Garcia wants next, but I got to go into a little bit more detail before I talk about Garcia versus Tank, because honestly speaking, I am with Canelo on this one. Canelo says that he believes that Ryan Garcia needs at least 1 or 2 more fights before he can face Tank Davis. He's basically saying that. Now, he didn't say that, but he kind of said, he would like to see him with at least 2 more fights before he could face anybody. And the reason is, it wasn't that Ryan wasn't prepared, that Ryan doesn't have defense, that Ryan is not a good fighter. The problem with why Ryan got dropped in this fight was because he was trying to rush everything. And in so doing, for a moment, as Ryan said, and as his trainer said, and as Canelo said, he got too relaxed, and he because he was in such control, he actually slipped up. So let me explain what Ryan Garcia's mistake was and how he walked into the trap set that Luke Campbell set for him, because Luke Campbell actually set a trap. So the way how it goes is this. So Ryan Garcia, he's walking down Luke Campbell. He has superior hand speed. He has the better positioning. He's staying behind his guard. He's stepping in. He has the right distance. He's staying behind his jab. He's using the feints, and he's walking down. Luke Campbell. Luke Campbell. He's just kind of feeling. He's just kind of doing as if he's feinting the jab, but he's not throwing it. Right. So round 1 was perfect. Ryan Garcia is doing what he's supposed to do. When Luke Campbell, tries to catch him with a shot or tries to attack him, Ryan will extend out the jab. Okay, he extends out his jab like this. Okay, and then he leans back and he skips backwards, right, at an angle. And he's rolling the punch, right? He's rolling the punch, right? He uses short. Now, here's the thing. What happened to Ryan was he got a little complacent. He got a little too relaxed because he was so much in control of the fight. And he allowed Luke Campbell to close the distance just ever so slightly. And Luke Campbell was setting up for his looping left. So he was setting up to hit him with the looping left. How did Luke Campbell set it up was beautifully. It reminded me of Shea Mosley versus Floyd Mayweather, where what Mosley threw with Mayweather was a straight right hand, straight down the pipe, right? Mayweather misjudged distance against Mosley. That's why Mayweather got caught with the punch, okay? But in the case of Ryan Garcia, he was lulled into disrespecting distance. And so he's trying to close the gap on Luke Campbell. Now, several times Ryan got caught with short chopping hooks by Luke Campbell. He caught him with 2 very sharp chopping hooks. And I think it was in round 1, and I think in round 2 as well, right? Before Ryan got dropped. Now, Luke Campbell is a tricky guy, right? So he would hit you with 2 counter hooks, and but Ryan's a very strong guy. He's slim, but he's very, very strong. So he took the punches, and he kept walking down Luke Campbell. Now, here's the thing. This is what happened. Ryan had tried to press the attack because he was so excited, because he was he so wanted to showcase his skills, he was rushing. And what his coach was trying to tell him is to relax, slow it down, stay more composed. He wanted Ryan to stay more composed because, remember, they hadn't fought for a while in the COVID. And then on top of that, think about this. Ryan is eager to go in there and showcase his skills and show how much better he is than Luke Campbell. And so Ryan, in doing so, he got complacent. and he did not respect distance. That's the first thing. That was the first thing that Ryan threw away. He threw away the range that he had. Okay. Now the second thing, which I didn't even expect Luke Campbell to do, but that is Luke Campbell's thing. The second thing is Luke Campbell feinted him to the body. He actually hit him with a body shot, just like how Shane Mosley hit Floyd with a body shot to come over the top with the right hand. But Luke Campbell did the southpaw version of that. He hit Ryan Garcia to the body, and he looped the shot around Garcia's guard, which wasn't, Garcia didn't have it as a phone boot. And by the time he got back, it was too late. Garcia was keeping his guard here, right? I'm a southpaw, so I'm gonna keep my guard. So instead of keeping my guard on phone boot here, where I'm supposed to be protecting my face and catching the shot, right? Instead of keeping it in the phone boot here, and you heard them discussing it after the fight, you know, Canelo's trainer, Eddie Reynoso, would start telling him you should have kept the phone boot up here. That was the first thing. So Ryan, as he was pursuing Campbell, I noticed his guard was here. Now, you can have your guard there, okay? Especially if the guy's not throwing firepower back. But the thing about it is, you're supposed to be able to get it back into position. And you should be practicing to keep your phone boot, keep the phone, hold the phone, okay? You should be holding the phone all the time. So that was one of the things he didn't do properly, and Eddie Reynoso reminded him of that so he could correct it. But what would have anyway brought Ryan Garcia's hands down was the fact that Luke Campbell misdirected him. So this is where you see clever boxing. So Luke Campbell, he was moving backwards. So he was the counterpuncher pretty much. He was moving backwards. And when Ryan Garcia was pursuing him, Ryan Garcia did not respect distance. Ryan Garcia was a little too close to Luke Campbell. So what Luke Campbell did was he stabbed to the pit, and then he exploded with a leaping left hook. But believe this, think about this. I'm a southpaw. So for me to do a leaping left hook, the only way for you to understand this is for me to demonstrate it, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just move the camera back a little bit so you can see what I'm talking about. Maybe I am. So let's say, okay, you guys can kind of see me here. I'm going to go all the way back so you can see more of it. So I think you can see me here, right? I'm a southpaw, right? So that means if I'm going to throw a leaping left hook, right? I step in, I jab to the pit, okay? And then I explode, okay? I explode to hit you with a leaping left hook, okay? I'm exploding. Now, so a stab, right? And instead of a stab to the pit, and then instead of an exploding right hand, okay, instead of this and then this, right? What he did was he did this, and then he leaped and swept it around Ryan's guard, because after Ryan got stabbed, Ryan's going to move backwards, right? Ryan's going to move backwards. But Ryan, in moving backwards, didn't get his hand back up in place in time for Luke Campbell to throw a leaping left hook. It's crazy, because that's like me in the orthodox stance, you know, just leaping into you, right? I decided to go like this, right? And sweep it, right? Instead of just coming, so like instead of stab you down here, right? I stab you down here, right? 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 Not that. So usually, if you look at Mayweather, for example, versus Oscar De La Hoya, he stabbed to the pit and come over the top, right? In this case, in the southpaw version, it's a stab to the pit, but then he explodes and then comes around to catch the distance, because Ryan is going to try to keep him away at bay with the jab. So what he did was he stabbed him as Ryan's about to, I guess you want to sort of freeze up or close this or whatever. He leaps and he hits him with the leaping left hook. It's crazy because you don't see that every day. But Luke Campbell, he loops his shots, and so that's how he was able to catch him really nice and clean. It was beautiful. And that's a unique thing. That's a Luke Campbell thing. You know, that's unique to you. So as a result of that, it's called misdirection, where you got the guy pulling. That's just to ensure when you go to the body, you're trying to bring down the guy's hands so you can catch him over the top. You know what I mean? It was great. Um, so basically, that's how Luke Campbell caught Ryan Garcia. Okay. Now Ryan Garcia would probably not have been caught that way because he kept on. Now the only thing was he was stiff arming Luke Campbell as he was circling out. But what Ryan Garcia was doing was he would use his reach and just move backwards, right? People saying he moves straight back. He doesn't really move straight back, but he shouldn't move straight back, right? But as I said before, Ryan Garcia is an excellent boxer. He can really box, and he's slick and everything. So I'm not really worried about that. That was a mistake on his part. That was him becoming complacent, getting too comfortable in there. And you can't be too comfortable in boxing. And it showed. Another thing is Ryan Garcia showed that knockdown didn't even phase him. Like he just got back up, and before you know it, before the round was over, he was walking down Luke Campbell. To remind me of Floyd versus Shane Mosley, except Floyd got caught twice and he didn't go down. So Ryan Garcia is a fighter like Floyd. He's a Floyd-like fighter. He throws a lot more combinations, but he's a Floyd-like fighter. Devin Haney's a Floyd-like fighter. Teofimo Lopez is a Floyd-like fighter. Shakur Stevenson's a Floyd-like fighter. And Gervonta Davis. They're all Floyd-like in that respect of the old school boxing. And I say Floyd-like just because Floyd, is the guys of the era that gold standard, but they actually borrowed from Sugar Ray Robinson, Sugar Ray Leonard, Charlie Burley, Thomas Hearns, Marvin Hagler, Sugar Ray Robinson, the whole 9 yards. These guys were really well schooled. And when I listened to Eddie Reynoso, as he was calling names of people like, Nicolino Loesch and Willie Pep, and he was talking about Sugar Ray Robinson, these names, you realize that these guys, they pull from an assortment of people. It's not just Mexican fighters. Julio Cesar Chavez is awesome, and there are lots of great Mexican fighters, but you have to be a student of the sport of boxing. You know what I mean? So anyway, that's what got Ryan Garcia in trouble, because he was too close to Luke Campbell to allow for that opportunity to happen and to get caught. And the other thing was he wasn't really keeping his phone on the handle in the phone booth. As to say, he wasn't holding the phone properly, and that's what got him in trouble. Again, excellent fighter, Ryan Garcia. Has a lot of promise and potential. He did some other things that I thought were where he got caught, where he shouldn't have gotten caught. But he's a tough guy. I know Ryan Garcia's a tough guy. I already kind of knew that. But a lot of people don't know that, right? He's very, very strong. Nonetheless, Ryan Garcia, he got dropped by Luke Campbell. And Luke Campbell tried to really exploit that opportunity that he had, but it didn't work out, right? Now, with respect to what happened next, Ryan Garcia walked down Luke Campbell for the majority of the fight. Ryan Garcia was not going to the body. He was doing a lot of headshots, but in the fifth round, he finally caught Luke Campbell with that check hook. He caught him with the check hook, very quick check hook, kind of like what Terrence Crawford does, and like so many fighters with the check hook. But he caught him with the check hook as he was coming in, and the thing about it was set up because Ryan at the point in time was pressing the action, and it was only when he got to counter Luke Campbell he caught him with the check hook. He was trying to get the check hook going early on in the fight. He was getting closer and closer. I was looking at his brother's fight against Marquez. I think it was Rafael Marquez or something like that. And he was trying to get. He was very rusty. You can see his brother was very rusty. His brother needs another fight soon because he was missing a lot of punches. He couldn't really estimate, particularly height. It wasn't so much range. He was in the right range. He was in the right leg, but the height. The guy was a little bit shorter than him, and you could tell that's because when you're rusty, you're not used to it, and you probably practice a certain thing, and you couldn't make the adjustment. So, similarly, Ryan, he just couldn't make the adjustment for the hooks. You knew the hooks were coming. You just didn't know how you make the adjustment. What really worked for him was the lead right hand. The lead right hand was splitting the guard. The lead right hand, he was throwing a lot of combinations, and he kind of, damaged up Luke Campbell's eye, but for the most part, Luke Campbell was picking off the shots. He was blocking most of the shots. He wasn't as strong as Ryan either. Ryan was a stronger guy. He was a sharper guy. He was a stronger guy. And he was the quicker guy, right? And I told y'all that combination with the boxing IQ that Ryan has, which a lot of people don't know because they never seen him in the amateurs, is a deadly combination. And Ryan's really, really good. You guys don't have no clue how good this kid is. But and don't get it twisted. Ryan would give Gervonta Davis a lot of problems. He would give Teofimo Lopez a lot of problems. He'd give Devin Haney a lot of problems. And the reason why this would happen is because Ryan's length. Ryan's like 5'11". He has like a 72, 73-inch reach. He can fight on the inside. He has very short, compact punches on the inside, and he can also fight long. So Ryan is a complete fighter. You know, I remember seeing him in the amateurs against Virgil Ortiz. I keep on saying this to people over and over again. And the dude looked like Floyd. Okay. He's very, very gifted. Gervonta Davis is another very, very gifted fighter. We have several of them. Gervonta, him, Devin Haney, Teofimo Lopez. All of them. I just want to see the fights. To be honest with you, I don't know who will win. All right, these guys are special. Shakur Stevenson, I don't know who will win among them because they're very, very special fighters. Like that's why even seeing Ryan Garcia get dropped in this fight was not such a big deal for me because I understood Luke Campbell's a very tricky, smart fighter, and you saw how dangerous he was. Luke did not drop Lomachenko, but he hurt him really bad. Luke against what's the guy's name? The other champion, the lightweight champion, I forgot his name right now, the Venezuelan fighter, Jorge Linares, right? He got dropped by Jorge Linares, and then he came back to get back into the fight. He was beating Jorge Linares. I looked at so Luke Campbell's a very, very good fighter, and like I said before, I wasn't knocking Luke Campbell. I just said there are levels to the sport of boxing. I just knew that Luke Campbell wasn't on Ryan Garcia's level. I just knew that. Okay, but having said that, he's a quality fighter. He's a top tier fighter. It's just that he's not that kind of special fighter. He's not a special fighter. But he's fundamentally sound. He's a very good fighter. He's a tricky fighter. He's a smart fighter. Luke Campbell is. It's just that he's not in the same category as Ryan Garcia. He's not in the same category as Tank. He's not in the same category as Devin Haney. He's not in the same category as Shakur Stevenson. He's not in the same category as Teofimo Lopez. Those five guys are special guys. And there's some more special guys coming on the way, but those particular guys I just mentioned are very special guys. Okay? Out of all of them that I just mentioned, I think Shakur is technically the most sound of them all. I think Devin Haney's next. And then I think Tank is so very gifted. He's an extremely gifted fighter. He's extremely skilled fighter. My thing is, can Tank be dedicated? Tank can beat all of them. Well, they all can beat each other. But what I mean is Tank, at this stage of the game, Tank's ahead of all of them. And he's being carried along very well by Mayweather Promotions. I think Golden Boy Promotions will carry along Ryan Garcia very well as well. I don't think Ryan should face Tank next, though. Not because he can't. He would do it and probably they would have a fantastic fight. It's just that I think that he should go into another fight to make sure that he's cleaned out his wrinkles, because he had a couple wrinkles against Luke Campbell. You can't be complacent in a fight, and you can't be too anxious to want to fight. Like, he was too anxious. He needed to be more composed. This is what Canelo's trying to explain to him. It's because he didn't keep his composure, and also because he was just very anxious to want to get this guy out of there and please everybody. And you have to be somebody who, I knew from the amateurs he was very tough. Okay, this kid fought punchers, and he was just schooling these guys. He didn't have the power that he has now, but he was schooling them. Like, they couldn't touch him. So I knew, and his biggest fights were against Devin Haney. Devin Haney and him, they would clash, and it would be like a war. You know what I mean? So they split. I think Ryan has 3 wins and Haney has 3 wins. So for those of you who don't know, because you don't know these guys from the amateurs, these guys are they're the real deal. Like, they're the real deal. Like, what I mean, when I say these fighters are the real deal, Ryan Garcia, Teofimo Lopez, Devin Haney, Shakur Stevenson, and Tank Davis, these guys, they've faced each other at different points in time. Some of them sparring. They're really, really good. Like I'm not playing. I'm not playing with you guys. They're really, really good fighters. Okay. They have different personalities and so on, but they're very, very good. So when I said, when I said Ryan Garcia was going to knock out Luke Campbell, everybody was watching me like, knock out Luke Campbell? I was like, yeah. They're like, not that dude. Appearances are deceiving. That kid is, and if he keeps that dedication, he will be greater than Canelo was. He'll be amongst, and what makes it so great is because you have all these great fighters to be, right? The potential of all these. You got Tank, you got Devin, you got Tio, you got Ryan, and you got Shakur, right? And what makes this such a great time, and trust me, these guys are going to have to face each other, is that with such the potential that these guys have, and the fact that nobody's really fully separated from anybody at this point in time, it leads to very, very competitive fights at the pro level. And these guys are going to face and they're going to clash with each other multiple times, I think. And it's just going to make for a really, really exciting era. And whoever becomes the principal, it's not like the Mayweather era in the sense that Floyd Mayweather was always leagues ahead of everybody else. This generation here has the potential to be greater than Mayweather's era, has the potential to be greater than the Four Kings era. They have the potential to do tremendous things. If you think about the welterweights post Floyd Mayweather, you have Keith Thurman, Sean Porter, Errol Spence Jr. We have Virgil Ortiz, Jerome Ennis, Terrence Crawford, Danny Garcia. This welterweight division is so packed, it's so stacked. You got Dennis Ugas, you got Sergey Lipinets. All of these guys have been world champions at the welterweight level. As the secondary champions or primary world champions. This is the welterweight division. It's still a very extremely exciting division. Of course, the boxer can only face one fighter at a time. I just hope that Terrence Crawford can get Sean Porter next. I'm gonna tell you why. And I'm kind of sad. I'm kind of going off topic, but I just want to stay on it for a minute. But the point that I want to see Terrence Crawford face a top tier fighter, and Sean Porter probably be his first top 10 fighter. And Sean Porter's placed at number 5. I want to see Terrence in there with because he's the only one that's left out of that equation. Your Dennis Ugas got Sean Porter. You had Danny Garcia got everybody. Errol Spence got everybody. Manny Pacquiao gets who he wants. Keith Thurman's gotten almost everybody. So when you look at the sphere of the top guys, they've all gotten somebody except for Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford just got Kell Brook, but he's not like a top 10 guy. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, I think that Ryan Garcia's performance has been exceptional. Because think about this. This guy wasn't facing that caliber of opposition. He just fought a contender and blew him out of the water. He was walking him down, knocked him out. So he's made the statement, what's next for Ryan Garcia? If I were Ryan Garcia's manager, if I was Ryan Garcia's promoter, if I was Ryan Garcia's trainer, right now we want to work on improving Ryan Garcia's game. Ryan Garcia is the mandatory for Devin Haney. He's the mandatory. So he's going to be facing Devin Haney next, or he's going to face Gervonta Davis next. In between, Ryan Garcia needs a fight. He needs some sort of stay busy fight to work on his game. He needs to iron out the wrinkles so that he doesn't go back into the fights without proper composure, or without pacing himself, or without picking his shots correctly. He needs to do the things that he knows to do. Even though he caught Luke Campbell with the body shot, and he just earlier in the round he tried the body shot and he got the body shot in there. To say that he actually set up the body shot, even though it was well placed, he did set it up somewhat because he was continuously through the fight going to Luke Campbell's head. So Luke Campbell kept his guard up and he swept under the guard and he caught him with the liver shot. But the thing that I wanted to say was I still didn't feel like he really set it up. Like he abandoned a lot of things that they learned. Canelo was saying and commenting to him, "Hey, dude, man, you're much better than that. You could have done a lot more that we have been training and we have been working on." And I think he kind of lost his composure in the fight. Even though he looked very composed and he was kind of pacing himself, he didn't really do the things that they had worked on. And that's how boxing is, where sometimes people they just don't do the things that you're working on in a fight. But the thing about it is that you know, I guess the moment was big for him, and hopefully he can use better feinting because that's another thing he didn't do. He should have feinted coming in to see what Luke Campbell would do. See, the idea is, you shouldn't be caught with certain shots, especially if you're fighting at range. If you are um, respecting distance the proper way, and one of the ways to respect distance, as Canelo does, and as any, well, not any, but the few elite fighters do, they feint you to see what you're going to do. But they don't throw feints just because they want to throw feints. If you look at Ryan Garcia, he has quick feet, just like Teofimo Lopez, but he chooses to walk down his opponents, which means he steps coming in. And so he can get the perfect leverage. He keeps his feet flat, tries to stay flat and put all his power behind his punches. Excuse me. So as a result of that, what happens is that Ryan Garcia, people think he's flat-footed. He's not flat-footed. Trust me, he's not a flat-footed fighter. So the point behind it is that, those kinds of things, because feinting is a very important thing in the sport of boxing. And if you don't know, see, everything it's not just feinting, but it is when to use it. What are you feigning? What is appropriate? There's a lot to boxing. Okay, it's not just this willy-nilly thing. At the elite level, it's about doing things very, very well so you can execute them and knowing when to do them. So Canelo was explaining to him what happened to all the feints that we were doing and all that stuff. That's why he got caught with the shot as well, because Luke Campbell saw, okay, he's open for that shot. He keeps on being open for the shot. I see he doesn't keep his guard up. And then two, sometimes he just comes in and attacks me instead of feinting as if he's going to come in so I could time him. So these were the sort of things that Luke Campbell was looking at. Luke Campbell's reaction time was not bad. Luke Campbell was doing a number of pretty good things, even though he was fighting off the back foot. And I thought that was something that was worth the while talking about. But ultimately, in the end, I think that Ryan Garcia, once he clears up those little problems he has in his game, he can keep on throwing in extra wrinkles to show that he's growing as a fighter. And again, the sky's the limit for Ryan Garcia. But once he starts to mix up his shots, I also like the jab to the pit that he had against a southpaw, which is very hard to do. And he did a pretty good job. And also the liver shot that he hit him with, really good job. Again, to place that liver shot and to get it, even though the person's liver is closer to you, it's kind of hard. It's an awkward angle to get it at, and he really got him good. So credit to Ryan Garcia in this fight. We'd like to see what will happen if he's under pressure, how he will fight off the back foot, because his brother was under pressure in the fight before the main event, and his brother was doing well in the fight. And then when Marquez took up his game, and he went on his back foot. I saw Ryan actually on his back foot a couple of times, and he kind of looked more vulnerable, even though he wasn't vulnerable, but he looked more vulnerable. But Ryan's an excellent fighter, and I got to say, I look forward to whatever he wants to do. If he wants to take Tank next, sure, by all means, go for it. But in my opinion, I would prefer to see him have a fight before he faces Tank, which he probably wouldn't want. And he doesn't want to face. I don't think he wants to face Devin Haney next. So we'll see how it goes with that. But kudos to Luke Campbell. Luke Campbell's a tough fighter. He's a smart fighter. He showed he was smart to be able to drop Ryan Garcia like that. That's a smart fighter that did that. Luke was coming to try and stop Ryan. Ryan just happened to be strong. And Luke was kind of shocked and surprised. but really great treatment. Luke Campbell said, and uh, McGuigan, they said they were treated very well, so that's really cool. Um, so that's basically the breakdown um, of Ryan Garcia versus Luke Campbell. I think I'm very excited to see how these matchups will happen. It seems as though Ryan Garcia versus Gervonta Tank Davis may be next. Fantastic for me. Just to have a great, exciting fight. Both guys are exciting fighters. Ryan Garcia throws a lot of combinations. Tank's more with the power and the southpaw stance and stuff. I would love to see both of them go at it. And of course, Luke Campbell is a southpaw, so that does prepare Ryan for Tank. A lot of people think that Tank is. I've been hearing different things, so I just want to put this out there. A lot of people also been saying that Tank is too small and he doesn't really hit as hard. You can see Ryan beating Tank. No, I don't really see Ryan beating Tank at this point, to be honest with you. But he would give Tank a lot of problems. He would give Tank a lot of problems. Tank is a short fighter. 1, 2. Tank's a compact fighter, and Tank is gifted. Okay, he has a mean streak in him. He can take a punch, and he's gifted. So that would be fireworks. But for Ryan to have the best possibility or the best chance of beating Tank, he cannot go in there and make defensive errors like he did make. Like he needs to be on point with judging his distance. He needs to be on point. If he's fighting on the inside, you're fighting on the inside. Fighting on the outside, you're fighting on the outside. You can't be in no man's land and then you get a counter punch. Tank is a guy, because he's a short fighter, he knows how to close distances and stuff, but there's certain tools that Floyd has that he has still not gotten to. Floyd was showing him some of the same things that Canelo does, and I think Canelo's showing Ryan that too, because Ryan was walking down Luke Campbell. So I do believe that both fighters are developing and moving on their way. I hope that Gervonta stays close to Floyd, because Floyd will really be able to get him to the level that he needs to be at. Gervonta would tell you that he got touched up a little too much. I hope that Gervonta's staying in shape. I hope Gervonta's staying on weight, because once you do that, you can really have some fun, stay in the gym, learn new things, learn new things, work on new things. But that's just work on new things. Also cement and solidify in your game the things that you work on all the time. So that's my hope. I know that Tank is also working with Adrian Broner. Adrian Broner's exceptional shape. He's getting his life back in order, which is great. Nobody really talks about AB like that, but AB's doing a lot of good and positive things, and that's a lot of people don't realize that. So I'm looking forward to AB's next performance as well. Clarissa Shields, she's working on MMA as well. She's working on boxing. Very excited about that as well. In my next video, I was hoping that you guys would jump on here and we would have a discussion. Somebody would jump on here. I could stay much longer, but I'm not going to stay much longer on this one. I'm going to try and do another one a little bit after this one. I know that this StreamYard, it doesn't always translate onto YouTube, and sometimes people are not notified of my StreamYard videos. So what I can do is, what I will do is I'll say, I'll go into the community section and I'll put out a post. The post will tell you that the StreamYard is about to begin, and then you guys can jump on here, those who are subscribed to my channel, and you can actually attend my StreamYard post so that you can look up for it. And if you haven't been notified, just scroll through on my channel, and pretty much you'll get notified. But this is an on and off thing. StreamYard doesn't always work with YouTube. It doesn't always work with Facebook, etc. So that's what it is. What you need in the building. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's a long one. It was about 38 minutes, almost 40 minutes. You guys got any more questions for me? Don't forget that you can share, subscribe. This is a water bottle by Universal, I think it's called. And yeah, this is my water drinking supply for now. Been staying hydrated. As you can see, I'm letting the hair grow. And we'll catch you guys later. Hopefully, you guys will be there for my next stream. My next stream should happen in the next couple of minutes. And we'll talk about the pound for pound list, which is you guys' top 5 pound for pound for 2020. As well as we're going to also talk about the International Boxing Hall of Fame. And we'll also talk about judging fights, even though I don't have a certified judge with me right now. All right, people. So what you need is out the building. Hope you guys have a good one. Don't forget, guys, Sometimes I pop up on stream. You guys can just hop on the stream. You can just hop on and talk boxing with me. There's nothing wrong with that. Um, because this is what it's for. It's for you guys. And of course, it's a money making channel. Don't get it twisted. I haven't received any funds for almost 6 months from anybody, no subscribers. But I just want to let you guys know that yes, I do still receive donations, and I still would like to have donations for this channel, even though it's been a kind of ad hoc at the moment. I'm still interested in YouTube and making money off of YouTube doing these videos. So just want to let you guys know, yes, I'm doing this for monetary purposes, not just because I want to talk boxing, even though that's what I like to do. I like to talk boxing, but it's also for monetary purposes. So I just want to let you guys know that. And I want to wish you guys the best for 2021. I'm coming back with another stream tonight, so look out for that. But in the meantime, what you need, out of the building. Peace.